He woke up the same way he had for years, reaching for his phone before his eyes fully adjusted to the morning light. Notifications flashed. Messages, likes, comments, endless updates from people he barely knew but felt he had to keep up with. Every ping was a whisper, pulling him, demanding attention. Every swipe, a fleeting escape, a temporary relief, followed by emptiness. By the time he left his bed, his mind was already exhausted. Anxiety bubbled under the surface. His thoughts were a tangled mess of comparisons, self-doubt, and worry about things that didn't matter. And yet, he couldn't stop. Checking his phone was a ritual, a lifeline, and a prison all at once. At work, it was worse. He spent hours jumping between apps, emails, and notifications. Tasks took longer, focus slipped, and every moment of productivity felt like a battle against constant interruptions. Meetings blurred together. Conversations with coworkers felt shallow, like he was always only half present. By night, he was drained. Physically, mentally, emotionally, he tried to rest. But even then, his phone was within arm's reach, buzzing insistently. He felt trapped, anxious, powerless. The world had become louder than his mind, and he was losing himself. One evening, frustrated and exhausted, he left the apartment and wandered into a quiet park. The air was still, cool, and calm, a sharp contrast to the constant noise of his digital life. On a worn bench, an older man sat alone, watching the sky. There was a quiet presence about him that was almost tangible. Something in his calm drew the young man closer, compelling him to sit. "Too much noise," the man said, almost to himself, yet clearly addressing the young man. "Too much, and it's not even real." The words landed like a sudden jolt. "What do you mean?" he asked. "You've given your power away," the older man continued. "Every ping, every notification, every scroll, you're letting it steal pieces of yourself. You're addicted to the approval of strangers, to meaningless interactions. You think staying connected keeps you alive, but it's draining you instead." He felt defensive. I can't just stop. Everyone is online. Work, friends, life. It's all there. If I disconnect, I'll fall behind. The old man shook his head. "No. If you continue like this, you'll fall behind life itself. The world isn't just online. It exists outside your phone, in quiet moments, in real conversations, in your own mind. You need boundaries, not for them, but for you." The young man stared, unsure where to begin. The old man smiled faintly, then gestured to the park around them. "Look at this. Notice the birds, the wind, the trees. None of them are checking notifications. None of them are worried about likes or comments. They simply exist, and they are alive. You are alive too, if you allow yourself to be." The words lingered. For the first time, he saw clearly the cost of constant connection. Focus, clarity, mental energy, even joy, all slipping away unnoticed. And the answer wasn't to work harder or manage apps better. It was to draw a line, to reclaim his time, his mind, his life. That night, he made a decision. He wouldn't delete everything immediately. He knew that would be too extreme. But he started small. Phone-free mornings, silent notifications, app limits. At first, the urge to check, scroll, refresh was almost unbearable. Anxiety flared. He felt disconnected, restless. But he persisted. Day by day, something shifted. The world outside his screen began to return. He noticed the sunlight more clearly. Conversations with friends became deeper. He remembered hobbies he had abandoned, passions that had faded under the constant digital noise. Each small boundary he set was a victory, a step toward reclaiming his attention and peace. Weeks passed. He began deleting unnecessary apps. Social media, endless feeds, meaningless notifications, gone. The silence felt strange, but liberating. Sleep improved. Thoughts became clearer. Anxiety once constant, receded. He could focus, think, and act without the mental static of digital distraction. He discovered a paradox. The less he gave his attention to the digital world, the more present he became in the real world. Productivity increased, creativity returned, relationships deepened. People noticed a change in him, a calm confidence, a quiet strength. And yet, it wasn't a mask. It was real. One evening, reflecting on the changes, he realized the truth. Constant connection had been a prison disguised as freedom. Every notification, every alert, every social comparison had chipped away at his energy and focus. The moment he set boundaries, he had not lost the world, he had gained himself. He started teaching others, not as a guru, but through example. Friends, co-workers, even strangers noticed his energy, his presence, his clarity. He shared simple practices. No phones during meals, phone-free mornings, time blocks for deep work, limits on social media scrolling. People resisted at first. "I can't," they said. "I need to stay connected." But they tried. Slowly, they, too, noticed relief.com and renewed focus. He realized an essential truth. Boundaries are not restrictions. They are acts of They are not about avoiding the world, but about choosing when, how, and with whom to engage. Digital boundaries create space for the mind, for thought, for presence. They allow us to reclaim our lives, and in doing so, they make life richer, fuller, and more meaningful. Months turned into a new rhythm. He didn't feel the pull of every notification anymore. He could work, create, love, rest, and grow, all without being enslaved by screens. And he felt a freedom he hadn't known existed, a calm, steady inner peace. He thought of the old man, the quiet guide in the park. The lesson was simple, yet profound. You don't have to disconnect completely to reclaim yourself. You just need to set boundaries, respect your own time and attention, and refuse to surrender your mind to endless digital noise. So, ask yourself honestly, how much of your attention are you giving away to a world that doesn't truly care? What would it feel like to reclaim it, to live, think, and breathe freely, without being pulled in 1,000 directions by notifications, feeds, and constant comparison? The first step is simple, yet powerful. Turn off one unnecessary notification. Delete one app that drains you. Spend 10 minutes in silence without checking your phone. Because in a world that never stops, the real power lies not in doing more, but in choosing what deserves your attention. Boundaries are not weakness. They are freedom. They are not isolation. They are presence. And the moment you claim them, everything changes. You will sleep better, think clearer, work smarter, and connect more deeply. You will stop being a slave to endless scrolling, endless pings, and endless comparison. You will remember that the world is alive, beautiful, and waiting for you if only you stop letting your phone run your life. Set your boundaries, protect your mind, reclaim your peace, and watch as life, once heavy and chaotic, becomes calm, focused, and full of possibility.